Okay, I'm live. Hello. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about stuff. I've just now been able to get in front of this camera here because I've got kids at home. I can hear one of them opening up a bubbly right now. And I had to go get their packets for school. And Warren's working downstairs. So I've been up and down the stairs all day because we've also had to coordinate a delivery to a friend at the same time as picking up dog food from Shepherd's Pet Supply to see him. He's there today. He's making deliveries tomorrow, by the way. Anyhow, real life seems to be a lot of work. I don't know. I'm not bored yet. Like, I mean, it's been the first day we're like, okay, we have to quarantine. Matilda's coughing. Don't believe she's got COVID. She's got common cold, no fever. So that's just, just adds to it a little bit. So I decided I needed to do my astrological thing because it makes me feel good to talk about it. I feel like it's a language that helps you describe what's going on and see it as symbolism in the sky, in time. It's just a vehicle to talk about things. So why not? And there is a lot that I can say about the symbolism of right now. So if y'all want to hear it, here you go. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart. This is an astrology chart. I don't know if anyone's watching me that's never watched me before, but this is difficult to do with people home because it's really hard to get myself on camera anyway and not feel weird like people are judging me or um, this is being accepted and whatever. But I think I feel the most anxiety about that from my kids and my partner. Like, oh, it's very vulnerable to do this in front of people. So I might have to breathe through it a little more. It's fine. They're fine out there. I'm in my bedroom. Okay. Do y'all feel crazy like this? I feel a little crazy. So this is what an astrology chart looks like. Let me get my pointer out because I want to show you that these are the signs of the zodiac. These signs represent time as well as space. Aries is a constellation in space that you can see, but it's also a place in time. In fact, Aries season starts with the equinox. That's what the equinox is. And the solstices are in Cancer and Capricorn. That's what Cancer and Capricorn is. It's a spot in space time. Okay, these are planets. Now, these planets are in time in these signs. They also are in space a little differently. Interesting, huh? Weird. Yeah, all of that. They symbolize things in astrology, functions of your psyche, functions of society, of the universe, energy, whatnot, all of that. So, sorry, I just got a text. Look at me being distracted. That's okay. Mercury's in Pisces. Okay, here we go. It's coming together now. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Maybe we should all take a breath together. Do you want to do that with me? I'm going to do it on camera. I don't care. I'm going to breathe in for 4, and I'm going to hold it for 4, and I'm going to breathe out for 4, okay? There is a lot of information. I hope you're taking your head out of it a little bit. Maybe talking about the astrology of it is a little easier than just seeing news headlines flash at you and people complain and all of this. Okay, so let me just start with the big cycle that's happened. This big cycle is Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Mars, the south node. The nodes are where the eclipses happen, all in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so, oh, and the moon's there right now. Okay. Capricorn, the sign itself is the symbolism of boundaries, rules, higher authority, Governments would be a Capricornian thing. It's cardinal Earth. I'm just giving you the symbolism, right? You can even draw your own conclusions when you start to learn the symbolism of all of this. I'll give you mine. You can draw your own. That's what the beauty of astrology is. Saturn itself rules the sign of Capricorn. Saturn takes 30 years to orbit. So this is a cycle. We can track it through time. Every time Saturn comes around to the same place, you're going to get similar themes, okay? Saturn is rules, structures, boundaries, foundations, government, social conditioning, lineage, ancestry, authority. I don't know if I said that. That's Saturn. Saturn is the limiting factor. And there's a good reason for that. Saturn is the last planet that you can really see with the naked eye. It's the boundary between us and things we may not be able to wrap our minds around. Okay, so Pluto's orbit is 240 years, I think. Please don't quote me on this. It's around that. So Pluto, every time it comes around, we've been able to start to track that. Now, we didn't know about Pluto until what, the early 1900s? I'm not sure. But we can now track it back through history and see that these themes repeat. Pluto is transformation, life and death, rebirth. It is the phoenix. It is the transformation, the tower card in tarot. It rules Scorpio. It is the underworld, all of that. Okay, so when Pluto comes around, we're going through major transformations wherever it's touching, collectively and in your own chart. Jupiter's expansion and philosophy and higher learning. It is the truth. It wants to do it all. It wants to just make everything more wherever it's at, right? And Mars is a personal planet. Mars is your ego, your action, the way you take action. It is cardinal fire. It is doing something. It's creative. I don't know if I mentioned Jupiter is mutable fire. Okay. Sorry, I just want to do my due diligence and give you all the info. The South Node is where we hold past life karma or just old ways of doing things. Whatever your belief system is, this is not dogmatic, right? So this holds all the talents of the past, all the knowledge of the past, but also all the bad stuff from the past. So a lot of times where the South Node is, we'll be doing a lot of clearing, deciding what goes, what stays. And then the moon, which I didn't plan this, I swear, the moon is the quickest moving thing other than the ascendant in your actual astrology chart. The moon is a mood. That's what Rick Levine says. Everywhere it is, it's because it's so briefly in a sign, it is more like a mood. But the moon in your astrology chart is your inner world, right? Your emotions. So that's why full moons are such big emotion generally. And it happens to be in Capricorn today. What does all of that mean? That it's all in Capricorn? That means several cycles are converging all at once. Several things are now in Capricorn that have not been together in Capricorn. Since I know that astrologers know these dates, I don't know these dates. It's something I can't hold in my head. I think someone knows the date, so hopefully you can Google it and see. But it's like the 1300s or something. Like, it's crazy. Astrologers have been talking about this convergence of planets and cycles for a very long time. People have written about it, 2020 being the year of initiation. A lot of people, a lot of astrologers, though, have interpreted this as, at least most of what I've heard has been a war. The last time we had, what was it? World War II had this cycle going on somehow. I can't remember exactly how. But it did. It was either Cancer or Capricorn. It was the same axis. And it was the redrawing of boundaries, literally, and war. You know, some of these cycles are implicated in the Great Depression. Several things are converging. I believe that might have even been Uranus and Taurus, but I'll get there in a minute. Right now, we're just talking about Capricorn. Capricorn usually deals with governments, and you have the ruler of Capricorn there. So what we've been looking at is the transformation of boundaries, rules, governments, uh, past life lineage issues, uh, the way we build our society. It even rules banking, but like governmental banking, the economy. That's Capricorn, cardinal Earth. So, as you can see, by time and space, for instance, if you were to look up in space, you would see Mars and Jupiter very close together if you were able to at whatever. You can't. It would have to be early in the morning, I think, to see these, and Saturn. In fact, I need to see when that's, if I'm able to see it, because I want to wake up and see this. And the moon. I might have to look that up shortly. Anyhow, you can see this stuff all together, like actually in the sky. Now, it may not be against the constellation of Capricorn. It may appear, I always get this wrong, whether it's maybe looks more like it's in Aquarius or more like it's in Sagittarius, but that's shifted. But by time, that is in Capricorn. Okay, sorry about that. But it still, you can see the planets together. So you can see that this is rooted in reality. We're just applying symbolism to it, just like Mondays have their own symbolism, okay? So this huge cycle everyone's been talking about, but it's been through the lens of governmental upheaval, but more in terms of war, or like a lot of people have been like, this president is very indicative of this moment, you know, like this specific president that we've got. Unsure times, transformative times. Now, did anyone see the pandemic? I don't know. I'm sure a few astrologers have hit on that. Hopefully they have. Where do we see that being the thing, right? We can find it here in the natural sextile to Capricorn. So we do look at the geometry of the way the planets are relating. And a sextile is an easy flowing aspect, a supportive aspect. And so you can say that they're talking to each other, they're sort of working together. What is Pisces? Pisces is spirituality, but it's escapism. Pisces rules poisons. I would put viruses there. What is it? When I read the thing from Hamlet last time, but vapors, like putrid vapors, that would be a Piscean thing. The breath, it's mutable water, by the way. That's Pisces, and mutable is moves around, and water is water, and you can think of water droplets in breath. So we can actually get the symbolism of this thing here. It's also on this health axis. Pisces and Virgo have a lot to do with health in astrology. So when this conjunction happened, let's look. Because the exact conjunction of Saturn and Pluto, which was the big one, was January. It was middle January at 22 degrees. Why do I know 22? Because that's my descendant degree. We also had a full moon. With a full moon January 10th at 19 degrees, it looks like. And then the exact Pluto Saturn conjunction was like January 12th. I want to get this right. I want you guys to see the symbolism. You can look at dates for the explosion of this thing. If you want to go back to December to Christmas, when the virus was first isolated and found, that was the new moon in Capricorn, I believe. Let's go back. Let's just look at that because it was Christmas. I want you guys to see this Capricorn stuff, right? New moon in Capricorn. Boom, right there. It was at 4 degrees. I'm not going to go all the way to it. Maybe I should. Yeah. Okay, at this time, we've got Neptune in Pisces, Venus in Aquarius. But I want to look at the exact conjunction because I think that's the one. That's the chart I want to focus on. And at that time, the sun was also there. Was Venus in Aquarius? This is very important, y'all. It was at the last degrees of Aquarius. Okay. So we've got a lot of Pisces stuff happening A lot of Capricorn stuff happening, even Aquarius stuff happening. Aquarius is community. Venus was in the sign that rules community and our tribe and innovation, but also upheaval. That's a very Aquarian thing. Neptune was in Pisces, which I talked about just a minute ago. In fact, I want to get to the exact moment. Be nerdy about it. I mean, this is worthy of being nerdy about. Just looking at it. Moon was in Leo. Anyway, this Capricorn, and Mars was in Sagittarius, which is truth and natural law. So we had a lot of interesting symbolism at the exact conjunction of, and look, just also take a look, the Sun and Mercury were also both in Capricorn. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, major things, like not an asteroid, like major things in Capricorn on January 12th, 2020. And this is the thing people have been talking about. Just after that, though, we've got Pisces illuminated, the conjunction still, Venus moves there. I'm looking at Pisces as the illusion, disillusion, the fact that this seems like a dream world. That's a Piscean thing. Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, is at home right now. It happens to connect in a supportive aspect with all of the Capricorn stuff. What did we have very next after that? Well, Venus still, it's moving up to hit Pisces right there. I mean, you could really look at the timeline of the unrolling of this virus and look at the movement of everything through Pisces and the way it connects with everything in Capricorn. You can also look at the movement of stuff through Aquarius as the community becoming aware of things. The community, Mercury and the Sun are both awareness. In fact, that was the end of January. We've also got another guy that I'm going to talk about in a minute, Chiron. Interesting to talk about. But right now I'm just moving through time. We can see the unfolding of it in the symbolism, and I love it. Mercury moves into Pisces at the beginning of February. That's when things start to take a turn for the I cannot believe this. And then it moves. The Sun moving through Aquarius. We're talking about community, tribe, friend groups, maybe people feeling like being social. And it's an interesting thing because everything else is saying, well, this is going to come back and bite you, sort of. This is the time to talk about Chiron. February 9th, we had Venus hit Chiron in Aries. Venus moving into Aries was a very much like passion, the need to move forward on certain things, and the awareness that we matter. Chiron is the wounded healer. So we're talking about health. I think it's the modern ruler, Virgo. Chiron in Aries is saying there is something we need to heal about being alive. I've heard a lot of people say it's the right to be here. That's what Chiron in Aries is really dealing with. And there's probably some part, and I know people who would just say this outright. They would think humans don't deserve to be here because we treat the earth poorly. We treat each other poorly. And a lot of people have this love-hate relationship with being alive for this reason, So Chiron is moving through Aries, dealing with healing this specific thing. I told you a little bit about how Pisces, everything moving through there, connects in this supportive aspect with all the work in Capricorn, the rules, the boundaries, authority, the reorganization of all of it. Pisces is like, yeah, man, like maybe escaping, not paying attention, or thinking that we are so spiritually connected. Humans are so, in fact, they're angelic. I'm going to have to pull up that Shakespeare quote again. Where do I have it? Let me look. I'm going to read this. This is the exact thing. Where is it? Here we go. This goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave overhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of this world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Shakespeare wrote that. Seems to me like he had a good hold on this very, very moment. We're here, we're alive. Venus and Chiron meeting in early February. We want to be alive. We really want to exist. And so what's pulling on that? We have to reorganize things. We have to deal with the way we've been doing things. It's not working. And we're going to be shown by Pisces, by the poisons, the escapism, by the viruses, by the foul and pestilent vapors, but also by our connection with spirit. Here's something that I have not talked about, the North Node in Cancer. You can see that I'm talking about Venus and Chiron, the right to exist, identity, moving forward, creative expression, all of that. Over here in Aries, square, it's making this red square. Where's my line? So if a sextile is supportive, a square is tension, creative tension. And it's making this, now this is loose at this time because we're talking 5 degrees, but still whatever. It's a T-square. I think our washing machine's going crazy, y'all. Like it's making noises and the girls are like washing clothes and I'm trying to do a video. It's creative tension. It's creative tension. It's a T-square. The nodes are where the eclipses happen. The South Node's been dealing with old bull crap in Capricorn. The North Node is where we're supposed to be nurturing, the area we're supposed to be developing. You know what that is, the North Node in Cancer? It's nurturing ourselves and our families, nurturing one another. Cancer is emotion, moving through the emotion of it all. So then you have to wonder, what was missing? Why is this happening? You know, so I'm going to move forward again in time. Clear my drawings. I'm going to have to draw more. I'm sorry, this is going to be a long, nerdy video, but I have to do it because so many people have been asking. I mean, I'm getting texts and I can't accurately do it until I tell you this way. This is my way. I have to teach you. I have to show you that there is symbolism. We can talk about it in terms of what maybe we need to fix, where we need to focus. And why do you think we're being focused in, forced into focusing on our families? We're being forced inside with our families, the North Node in Cancer, nurturing each other, nurturing ourselves, resting. Okay, that was February 9th. Mercury's moving forward. Here's the next thing that happens. We get, which one happened first? I'm trying to figure out which happened first. Here we go. They both happened at the same time. That's right. February 16th, February 17th. First of all, we had Mars moving into Capricorn. Mars is action. So this is adding gas pedal to the metal. This is like, oh, let me bring some action to this area. So if what we were doing was reorganizing our government, reorganizing our banking systems, and reorganizing our infrastructure, and that's also in your own life, that applies to your very own life as well. So if we were going to do that, let me give you a little push, a little gas. That's Mars. Mars is like, let's speed this up a little. Okay, so Mars moves into Capricorn and it squares Chiron, healing. But what else does it do? It starts to trine another supportive aspect. These things are working together, Uranus and Taurus. And this is something I haven't talked about yet. Taurus is another earth sign. At this point, we've got all of this over here in Capricorn: work, boundaries, government, banking, actual building, actual homes. Like we're talking cardinal earth, climbing the mountain, doing the work, restructuring because of Pluto, transformation there. We have to transform our society, how we do things. What are the rules for ourselves? These rules are outdated. They're not working anymore. Okay, well, Mars moves in like, okay, let's take some action on it. Uranus, though, he's like, hell yeah. Actually, I want it to be blue. I want to erase that. Blue is a trine because blue is easy flowing. Okay, so what does Uranus do when it moves into a sign? Uranus is the principle of innovation, the principle of, I'm going to give you a few keywords, and this can manifest, it's unpredictable. Uranus is unpredictable, the nature of it. This is why I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen in life, because everyone has free will. We're all actually consciously co-creating this thing together. We all get to decide. Free will. So Uranus is freedom. In fact, Uranus could be the free will wild card. Uranus is a wild card. It is innovation. It is upheaval, revolution. That's what Uranus is. It breaks it open. It changes it. So it's just recently moved into Taurus. The sign of Taurus rules, and so this is where Uranus is going to be bringing changes, bringing revolution, bringing transformation, innovation. Okay? Taurus is the earth. Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus is the most earth sign you can get. Okay? In fact, some people say that the co-ruler is the earth, that the ruler of Taurus is Venus, but they say it actually rules the planet Earth. It is Mother Earth, Gaia. It is the life that it is our host, right? It's why we are alive, this earth. So Uranus is bringing change here. So the more mundane reality symbolism of Taurus is finances and relationships. The overarching theme is values, our value system. That's what's transforming in this innovative, futuristic way. And it's right here when Mars moved into Capricorn to say we need to restructure all the Capricorn stuff. It also has help and support and encouragement from Uranus, upheaval in Taurus, like, I'll help you out with this. We're going to start to transform values. Let's do this. People are like, wait a minute. What are my values? Do I value my health? Do I value the earth? I don't know. Maybe that's a part of the reorganization. Okay, so on the same day, we're still at February 16th, one day, Mercury moves retrograde. Now, what does that mean? Here it is. Yep, later on that day, February 16th. Mercury retrograde is, Mercury's our mind, the way we communicate, talk, think, listen even. And going retrograde is already like sort of this twisted way of doing it. It forces you to have to rethink, recheck what you're saying, make sure you heard that right, reread. Pisces, fantasy, dreams, illusions, disillusions, like alternate reality. That's a Piscean thing. So when Pisces went retrograde through, when Mercury went retrograde through Pisces, it was like a different world. You're presented with things that are like, whoa, it's confusing, it's unexpected, but in this dreamy sort of way, not like the Uranian out of left field. This is more like, this seems like a different, like, am I in a movie? That's a little bit what Mercury retrograde in Pisces was like. Again, supporting this infrastructure transformation in Capricorn. And it happens to trine the North Node in Cancer. Like, we are having to think about, Cancer is also the moon, the mother. How are we mothering ourselves? How are we mothering everything in our lives? How are we nurturing it? Okay, going to move forward because I have a feeling that Mercury retrograde, it was February 16th through March 9th. So all of that time, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was really easy to pull the wool over people's eyes. That's what Pisces is. You can look at it supporting this government over here, little bit twisted reality, right? Like, whoa, okay. So it was easy to, for us to be deceived. It was really easy for everyone to be deceived. Also, really easy for us to do some escaping ourselves and escaping the truth. We didn't want to look at it very much. And that's really the reason I jumped on top of being prepared. Like, whoa, okay, all right, here we go. Uh, I'm going to take this seriously because I see how easy it is for us to be deceived and for the public to also escape the truth. Now, what the truth was, I don't fault anyone for believing this wasn't real because it's so hard to tell right now. It's so hard. It's so hard to tell what's real. Y'all, I'm almost to right now. Hang in there, and I'm going to tell you now in the future, okay? I swear. And you can always go back and watch this. It's going to be live. I'm going to record it. I'm probably going to put it on YouTube. Okay, here we go. We're moving forward now. The sun moves into Pisces. More support. Saturn, Pluto, the moon, February 19th. Jupiter, South Node, Mars, all in Capricorn. It's heavy and confusing at the same time through this Mercury. And then at the same time, too, Venus is in Aries, like your needs, your wants, your desires. What are they, huh? Don't you know? You need to take care of you, man. Very difficult. Very difficult. But I'm not. Then we had the new moon in Pisces. Okay, that was February 23rd, and that was with Mercury. More of the Piscean stuff. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time about it. It's the past. I really want to get to right now. Mars. Yeah, we need to get rid of some old baggage. Get rid of it. Talk about it now, maybe. Think about it now. I hope you took my advice and really went internal and tried to go into meditation, do your breathing. Find out what's real for you, man. All right. That's still not a bad idea. February 25th, the moon moved into Aries where Venus was. I think it's important to note the day that Venus squared Pluto. That was February 28th. That could have had implications for the things you knew you needed to get rid of that weren't supporting you and who you were as a person. Maybe what was true and valuable for you. The moon hit Uranus. All right, moving forward. What happened here? Mercury goes into Aquarius, Venus moves into Taurus. Aquarius is detached. Aquarius is about the community. Venus and Taurus is about Mother Earth. Here we see the first inklings that the Earth is really going to benefit from this. This is one of my more favorite symbolic things happening right now. And this is one of the more positive ones, the silver linings. Let me tell you, Venus is good luck, man. Ancient astrology, Venus is good luck. Uranus is innovation, change, the future. Taurus is earth. These things came together March 4th, March 5th, March 6th, March 7th, March 8th. They're like traveling together, even up to March 9th when we had the full moon in Virgo. You know what I'm seeing? Look at this. There it is. I'm seeing, and that was even a grand trine in Earth just before the full moon when the moon moved into Virgo. Virgo is health, by the way. And I went live for this because I love this grand Earth trine. You can see this square happening here. Really drawing attention. Even a kite. Look at that. Look at this kite. Loose, sort of. It's all a little loose, but whoa. What does that mean? The Earth is being heavily featured, and then nurturing ourselves over here, nurturing our families. This is when you begin to really have quarantine come into your mind. Mercury's retrograded back into Aquarius. What is Aquarius? Community. Saturn is hit. Pluto, it's moving forward. The sun are together. March 8th, March 9th were formative times. The sun and Neptune were together, trining Jupiter. We're really going to help this reorganization, this structure. We're going to introduce a world that people have never seen before. So this is the reason I am wearing this shirt today. This reason right here. Apparently, in Italy, dolphins are now circling places where fairies used to come and go. In Wuhan, you can hear the birds chirping for the first time in a long time because it's quieted down. The earth is able to benefit. Pollution is lowering. We are, look at this, the kite, we are getting together with our families. We're able to rest. We're able to nurture our bodies and our mental health. We're able to allow the earth to get a break. We're able to allow our health to get a break. Nurturing, health, restructuring of government and old infrastructure, earth, Mercury and Aquarius, community, dreams, illusions, disillusions. Look at all this, man. But this is why I'm wearing this shirt. I haven't showed it. I'm a happy prisoner. That's what it takes right now. Happy prisoner. Be happy. Be happy for the birds. Be happy for the time with your family. Be happy with those. I think a 2-degree separation is okay. I mean, look, I'm not gonna be. I think it's fine to have your couple friends over if that's the only friends. Pick one set of friends and have them over. Don't go crazy. FaceTime each other. FaceTime your friends. If you don't want to do that, if you really want to limit contact, if you're immunocompromised, FaceTime friends. Use this technology. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. Use it. Use it. All right. So clear all my drawings, clear all my drawings, clear all my drawings. That leads me to today, because we're about to make another shift, okay? And that's what I want to talk about the future for. Today is March 16th, 1:53 p.m. All right, what we're doing, we're going to move forward a day at a time. Right now, Venus is in Taurus. We have the South Node in Capricorn and the North Node in Cancer. They are exactly connected to Uranus and also by square exactly connected to Chiron. Earth and the right to exist. North Node in Cancer, nurturing yourself, your families, your bodies. South Node in Capricorn, getting rid of old rules, boundaries, foundations, old lineage issues. You're healing your lineage right now, okay? Mercury's moved into Pisces. Get in touch with spirit. All that dream world you experienced, what was that? What was the illusion that you were under? What's the disillusion? Well, how can you connect with a higher presence, whatever that is for you, man? If it's just art, if you don't believe in God, what elevates you? That's what makes you get in touch with that angelic side, that what is it? The paragon of the animals. That nobility and reason. Express and admirable and moving and inform. So it could be exercise for you. It could be yoga. It could be anything, but get in touch with it, because Neptune's going to be in Pisces for a minute. Mercury's going to hit it again. The sun's still in Pisces. The moon is today in Capricorn. We are definitely, our inner security is probably being threatened. It's going to move over the south node tonight. It's going to feel a little dark and karmic. That's about 6:53 p.m., 7:53 p.m. Lots of serious feelings, serious conversations. Snap back into that north node in Cancer. Take a bath, take a shower. Snap into Uranus, and I like snap into a Slim Jim. That's what I'm sounding like, but with astrology. Snap into Uranus and Taurus. Earth, Mother Earth, physical things. Get your hands in the dirt, plant a garden, build something, create. Taurus and Venus both are creative. Get in touch with who you are, how you identify in this reality. That's Chiron and Aries. Okay. Hour by hour, man. Sometimes you have to take it hour by hour, and look at what I'm doing. Because it's really because the moon, look, I'm getting a little emotional. I am. I'm getting a little emotional. The moon trines Venus at 12 noon tomorrow. That might be a brief, maybe even this adds to it, a brief feeling of like it's okay. I can really do something creative. I can do something beautiful. I can focus on something beautiful with that Venus and Taurus. Maybe it is planting a seed somewhere. Maybe it is um, building something, creating something, allowing yourself to walk around your yard. If you don't have a yard, just walk outside, you know? Then, what is the ascendant here? I should put that. Hmm, I want to say something. Forgive me, getting nerdy. I want to see when you can see Saturn and Jupiter and everything in the sky. And it looks like the best time to do that might be around 5:53 a.m. Looks like it'll be up over the horizon. How do I know that? Well, in astrology, you can see that when the sun is down here in the bottom of the chart, it's nighttime. So it's still dark. So the sun hasn't risen yet. This is where the sun rises. This is the east. Wait, I don't even have my pointer out, do I? The sun rises in the east right here. This is nighttime. The sun's at nighttime here. It's dark. It hasn't risen. And this is Birmingham, Alabama, 5:53 a.m. Mercury is just rising. That's pretty cool. Don't think you'll be able to see it because you would have to be at a flat space to be able to see that. 1 hour later, the sun's about to rise and it's twilight. So you may or may not be able to see all this stuff. So I would say go look at the eastern sky, and I can figure all this out because of an astrology chart, you naysayers. Salty ass Mandy. I am. I'm salty about it. But yeah, so like I don't know what the degree of rising would be. But yeah, I think about 5:53, 5:45, 5:53, even 6 a.m. Look for the moon, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. They'll all be there. Okay. That was a brief aside. I'm going to switch it back to the areas on the rise because that's how I like to do collective readings. Forgive me. Anyway, it's because the chart doesn't move crazy like. So I was going hour by hour because that's how you have to take it right now. Believe me, hour by hour. That's how you take it. The moon hits Mars at overnight, it looks like, and Jupiter and Pluto. So I'm going to say overnight tomorrow night. By tomorrow morning, we're going to see some things shift again. Moon hitting all of these planets in Capricorn. Moon hitting Pluto. Pluto is transformation and power. I'm just, and you're talking, it's a luminary. It draws attention anytime the moon hits something. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to have some emotional movement in this area of Capricorn. Okay. Especially overnight, we start to hit some stuff. The moon hits Jupiter, expansion, then it hits Pluto, transformation, then it hits Saturn, limitations and boundaries and restructuring. All right, that's why I'm telling you, hour by hour. The moon moves into Aquarius. That means it's going to reach the community. We're going to see about all that. Bear with me. I'm looking at the future hour by hour for you. Okay. I think another important time is going to be Saturday. Saturday, we're going to have some decisions to make. Saturn is at the very last degree of Capricorn. Okay. The moon moves into Pisces. Mercury is well into Pisces. Actually, I'm going to look at an hour or two before that. No, we're going to talk about the equinox first. That's important. Equinox, March 19th. This is the earliest equinox in quite a while. These are record-breaking times, y'all. Okay, like Astrologically, time-wise, like literally, this is the earliest equinox in a while when the sun moves to the Aries point. And it happens at, I'm going to get the exact time. These are not times for half-assedness here in astrology. And I'm trying not to be. I'm sure there are astrologers who are much more technical, know it better. You're just getting my opinions, my interpretations, and my intuition, okay? Again, I'm sorry this is a long video. It's long for me too. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, okay? March 19th at 10:50 p.m. 05 seconds in Birmingham, Alabama. It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday night. We have the sun moving to the Aries point, Aries equinox, okay? All right, so this is important every year. It's astrological spring. New beginnings, woo! Right? So yay, except we know something that I've already touched on earlier. That's Chiron, the wounded healer, what we're healing, but also experiencing some wounds and fears even around, is in Chiron and Aries, which is my identity, the way I take action, the warrior in me. We're healing that, okay? And the sun moves there, so it brings this extra attention, extra energy to it. This is our solar life force. And again, it's going to be square to the nodes. We have a T-square activated. The nodes are the past, south node, the past, the way we've always done things, the way we want things now, the way we need to move forward in this healing of ourselves, of our whole identity, is square that. We're like, we have to take some action to heal this. Oh my God. North node, the way forward is in Cancer. So I could say too, the square to the north node is don't overdo things. Don't go to work if you don't have to. Overreact on the healing, man. That's literally in the astrology. Overreact on the stuff when it comes to healing. Be healthy. Take time, man. It's okay to purge the emotions. The North Node in Cancer, talk about it. Be emotional. I'm being very emotional and real right now. I do not care. This is, I don't care who thinks it's blown out of proportion. I don't care who thinks it is not a big deal. I don't care about the people that think this is not serious. I don't care about the people that think this is a conspiracy and it's not a real thing, that we don't have to worry about our health. I don't care. Not personally. This is me showing up authentically. Personally, I don't want to catch a virus I don't know about, whether it's government engineered or not. Personally, I want to spend time with my family. Personally, I want my partner who is having to stay home and work because my daughter's coughing. I want him to take, time to not go in his office and be around people who either he could give something to, whether it's a coronavirus or not, is not the coronavirus, but it is a cold. He doesn't need to be going to work taking those germs either. Okay. I don't care. I don't care about the people that think I'm overacting when I get mad that my friends were going to get on a flight. They've canceled it. They've canceled it. But I preached at them. I preached at my parents who were going to go on a cruise. I don't care. The warrior, the healing of the warrior inside of you is saying to nurture you and nurture those around you. And those things are pulling on one another. So you're going to get a lot of warrior out of people. Okay. Also, I mean, you could even look at Mars and Jupiter conjunction on this same day, Thursday, March 19th. Mars is go forward, do this. Mars is also a warrior. Jupiter is expansion. It's like, yes. It's in Capricorn. Capricorn is structure and limitation. So it may be like, move forward on limiting yourself. Deal with it. Move forward on listening to the government. Maybe the government moves forward on something. Okay, and then the other thing, March 19th, Saturn is at the last degrees of Capricorn. Saturn has been in Capricorns for 3 years. It will only stay there for the rest of this year, and then it'll move out of it completely. But for just a minute, And when I say just a minute, I mean from like this time, around March 20th, 21st, until around May, I believe, it takes its first dip into Aquarius. This is the new shift, okay? But March 19th, it's at the last degrees. Right now, March 16th, it's at 29th degree. That is the last degree of Capricorn. I get excited about this because I love degrees. Christopher Witecki, one of my teachers, he does a lot of degrees in his astrology. He has an idea for every degree. He calls them steps, and I love it so much. But the 29th degree is such a potent step number, if you will, to quote Mr. Witecki. An important degree. It is the master degree. It is the last degree. It is the wrapping up. It is the boundary of this sign into Aquarius. Final decisions. Now, these won't be so final because it moves retrograde back into Capricorn in the summer. However, these are inklings or maybe movements forward into the last stages of Saturn and Capricorn, okay? So we're in some serious times, man. Like the last bit of rules, structures, boundaries, limitations, but also maturity. We're being called to have some maturity and wisdom here. Speak your truth, right? Speak your wisdom. Do you have wisdom on a subject? Speak it. Okay. So yeah, we got to the 19th, the equinox, Saturn at the last degrees. The moon hits like very close to Saturn right before it moves, into Aquarius. In fact, does it hit it? No. Yes, it does. The moon joins up with Saturn. How perfect could you get? Just before Saturn moves into Aquarius. I would expect things to be very heightened then as well. March 18th. Let's go minute wise. When does it hit it exactly? Go back. March 18th, 7:48 p.m. The moon hits Saturn. These are some very final emotional feelings about all of this. Some seriousness, some drawing a line, some boundary, some step here that we're emotionally aware of that we're going to have to take. And to me, that's going to be Aquarius, the next sign. And here we go. Right here. Saturn moves into Aquarius, but I do believe it's March 21st. And you're not going to like the keywords I've come up with Saturn in Aquarius, but whatever. Looks like yeah, March 21st, 11:49 p.m. or something. Sometime around there. I'm not going to do minutes. Saturn is limitations, boundaries, wisdom, achievement. I think I've forgotten achievement. It's not all doom and gloom. Wisdom, foundations, governments, banking. What do you do when you put the word limitation into a sign that means community? What happens when you put a planet that means boundaries into a sign that means community? What do you do when you put a planet that means restructuring of rules and you put that into a sign that means community and tribe and friend groups? Well, several different options. You are limited in the community. What do you do when the planet means authority and you put it in to the sign that represents community? I'm letting you draw your own conclusions here. What do you do when you put a sign that means wisdom into a sign that means community? What do you do when you put a sign that means building and achievement? I mean, a planet that means achievement into a sign that means innovation and forward thinking. That's a positive thing, okay? This is new rules for the way we interact. These are tribes that don't work for us anymore or new tribes that do work for us. Also, Aquarius means higher organizations, new rules for the way higher organizations work. Higher organizations, you mean like a large company, the way they do things? Aquarius rules the internet. Saturn means work and career. You mean we can work from home and be around our families while we're doing all this work? Not feel so stressed, take care of our health? Is that what you mean? Do you see what I'm getting at here? The symbolism of Saturn in Aquarius. Do you see what I'm getting at? Do you see what I'm getting at? Do you see what I'm saying? All right. Take a deep breath here because that completes a lot of the major shifts for the moment, okay? March 21st is a brand new world. It is liquid reality. Oh, and the same day I'm remiss. I have not talked about how Mars hits Pluto that same day. This is the most transformational Phoenix flame transit you can get. Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars together is okay, let me think of, because I want to say burning it to the ground, but that is not the right thing, but heightened. It is very heightened March 21st, okay? I'm telling you this to tell you that we have not seen the end of it. We're not going to see the end of it, and we need to take the precautions to North Node and Cancer nurture ourselves, to let go. I mean, Venus and Uranus and Taurus let go of old values. Oh my God, money. Oh my God. You know, I hate to say it because everyone has different ideas of what they value. Some people are just happy to get food, man. Saturn in Aquarius, new rules for our society. We have to take care of our community. We have to take care of each other. There is no way around that. In fact, Saturn in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus. What does my software say about that? Sometimes I like that. A healthy balance between responsibility and the need for freedom and change. I like that. We might want to escape into Mother Earth and go isolate ourselves in a piece of property and never see anybody ever again. Saturn in Aquarius is like, give to your community. You have to do that still. You have to. Okay, you have to. Because that's also sextile Chiron in Aries, right? Which is healing of my identity, my right to exist. Okay, so what's the big question? When will it end? When will it end? Do you think I know when it'll end? I can correlate a lot of the past and tell you guys what that looks like, right? Why it's symbolically related, as above, so below. But there are some things I can say about this. Saturn in Aquarius, new rules for the community. Saturn always calls for us to work harder and actually do it, okay? So I want to show you this one transit here, Mars hitting Saturn. Mars hitting Saturn is like, we can't move forward unless we learn this lesson about this work. And it is in Aquarius. It is about forward thinking in the future. Our egos, our action, our will is going to have to be within the constraints of Saturn in Aquarius, okay? This is new technology, forward thinking, taking care of each other, taking care of our community, not being around people who do not align with us as well. Look, I'm going to say that, okay? But yes, giving, being open, being aware, also maybe detaching a little bit emotionally, not fighting with people if you don't have to, right? Not fighting against the government if that's the smarter thing to do. Like, not, you have to listen to authority right now as well. Our ego has to listen to that. Like, if the government says stay the hell home and don't fly, don't do it. Don't fly. You know? Okay. And that's square to Uranus and Taurus, the need for freedom. We need freedom, but it's Saturn's like, nope, here's some limitations, here's some boundaries. Stay in your houses for a minute, all right? But I do love this because this is something that we can look forward to. Venus moves into Gemini on April 3rd, okay? Also, that's the same day Mercury and Neptune meet. I love this because this is new ideas, okay? Mercury and Neptune have almost like spiritual messages, right? On the same day, Mars is starting a square with the need for freedom. Man, is going to really, really great with the fact that our freedom is limited for the good of the community. Okay, that is that Mars square Uranus. Okay, so the freedom you can get though is in nature. Go camping. Limit your exposure. Don't go camping in a crowded campground. Go backpack. Get out into Mother Nature. That's the freedom you can have right now. Pretty much it. Pretty much it. Get into your garden. Get into that. That's pretty much it. Get into your creativity. That's the freedom you can, but you have limitations over here in Aquarius in the community, okay? But Venus moves into Gemini, and that's trine this Saturn and Mars. What is that? Gemini rules communication via the internet. Venus is creativity and finances. We're going to see a lot of internet gigging. A lot of gig economy moves to the internet, okay? A lot of telecommuting, a lot of all of that. Another silver lining. Venus is our silver lining, man. Get rid of the old ways of doing it. Do it in a new way. Venus and Gemini, we are communicating now. That's where our value system is. You know why? We have to. We have to be honest in this time. We have to search for honesty. We need truth. We need Gemini is also the trickster. We need to play with this somehow. This means maybe we're going to have albums released in 9 months or babies. You know, that's what I've heard. Uh, what I'm saying is, oh, the moon's in Leo that day as well. This is creative heart, baby. Creative heart. I don't know if I looked at the new moon in Aries. I don't think I did. That's March 24th. It's hard to hit all these things. Set new intentions around your warrior, the warrior inside, March 24th. I do like that when Venus moves into Gemini, the moon's in Leo. Leo is your heart chakra, your inner child. This is playfulness. Be playful on the internet, y'all. The internet's not just for arguing and fear mongering. Oh my God. It is not just for arguing and fear mongering. It's for play. It's for sharing creativity, man. This is new territory, new ways of doing things. This is Aquarius, innovation, community innovation, Venus and Gemini, community innovation, okay? All right. And it's involving our dreams and the way we can really branch out into some new version of reality. Creativity. I mean, there's no way around that. Okay, and the next thing, next shift we have, what are our shifts here? Mercury moves into Aries. I think that's going to be a much needed turnaround, y'all. The way forward, okay? Mercury in Aries is square to the nodes in Capricorn and the North Node. Hell, even the March 24th new moon in Aries. I'm going to go back to that. Aries is square to all this stuff. The way forward is healing, man. Like, we are healing a relationship to ourselves, okay? Take the time, March 23rd, March 24th, to really set intentions on the way you want to move forward as a person. This is your story. How do you want it to look? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to move through this new reality? How do you want to appear in it? How do you want to move in it? Aries. So then Mercury moves into Aries. So we have the new intention. Definitely, you know, I want to say things like ritual magic, but oh, it scares people. I also want to say things like praying, but oh, that scares people. However you believe, man, chanting, meditation, magic, praying. That's the things to do around a new moon in Aries. Having a plan, The warrior needs a plan for the way it's going to heal. What if we have to quarantine? What if my neighbor needs me? What if the government tells me to do something I don't want to do? You need to play with all of the realities, even the good ones. What if this ends up being nothing? Am I going to kick myself? No, I'm going to be happy that we are bringing these issues to light. Anyway, that's what that March 23rd, 24th new moon is. Anyway. April 10th, Mercury moves into Aries again. Where's the full moon? Full moon in Libra. This is justice. More air as well. Air. We got air. So that means right before that, we're going to get a grand trine in air. We may get some information that really helps us out around this time. Yeah, because that's a kite with Chiron. Yeah, I think the humanity is going to get some good info around this full moon in Aries. I mean, full moon in Libra. Libra is the scales. Libra is how we relate to one another. And it's justice and it's beauty and peace. Keep that in mind. You might feel a little bit of alleviation of some things. I don't know what. I'm not going to say that's the end. It's interesting enough. That's the date that our schools have said they're going to reopen as April 6th. And that's the full moon in Libra. Look, y'all, not predicting, not going to predict. But if I had to pick a day, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, even you would think that would be why the officials would choose that day. And symbolically, yeah, full moon in Libra. But it might not be until a little later, maybe after Taurus. We get Taurus energy. And the moon's moved through Capricorn again. Sun moves into Taurus. Okay, it's a new moon with Uranus. All right. The Earth has something to say here, y'all. April 22nd. Feel like things are they're going to get better. Hold on, man. April's going to turn the tide, okay? That's just my personal belief. I don't believe it won't be a thing from that point forward. But if you can make it through, plan to make it through mid-April, just being internal, being inside, being in nature, getting in touch with your families, getting in touch with your own mental health, your own physical health, if you can. Learning how to work with the community. If you need, tell people you need, if you're in need. If you can offer, tell people how you can offer, if you can offer. These are formative times. If we do it right, we're going to do it right. We're going to do it right for everybody, for our children. If we love one another, if we give to one another, if we do obey scientists, but if we keep searching for truth, keep listening and opening our hearts and opening our minds and not succumbing to the fear, but definitely succumbing to the thinking. There's no reason not to think about this stuff. There's no reason not to consider staying at home and consider your family and consider your health and consider your work home life, considering the way you view government, considering the way you view your leaders. That's what all this is. These are very sober times, they're very serious times, but there are ways out of it. There are silver linings. We're going to benefit. Mother Earth is going to benefit. Our bodies are going to benefit by taking care of ourselves. Go for a walk every day. There are things you can do to take care of yourself that don't involve going around people. When Venus moves into Gemini, man, do online business. How can you do it? Do it. Consider ordering a private session with your favorite local musician. Consider paying an artist to live paint something for you. Consider paying an artist to do commissions, like anything, man. Consider Definitely still ordering from restaurants that are taking the right precautions. Picking up meals from them if you can. It's all very difficult times. I'm available. In lieu of playing gigs, I don't know what the next couple are going to look like. Please feel free to order a session of an astrology session with me. I can tell you where all of this is happening in your chart and where it probably is going to affect you in your life, like your actual life, not just collectively. Uh, I think I've gone over everything. If you enjoyed this and feel like tipping me, I got Venmo, I got Cash App, and PayPal. Okay. I I'll put it all up if you feel like it. It'd be much appreciated. Um, yeah. Let me leave you with this though. Where's my whiteboard? Can I share my whiteboard? There we go. I'm gonna leave you with that. Take another breath. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4. And then I'm gonna breathe in for 4 and I'm gonna hold it for 4 and breathe out for 4. That's what I'm gonna do. Consider doing that a few times a day. Also, I wanted to say before I let you go, run humidifiers, cool mist humidifiers. They help a lot. They're going to help a lot to moisture in the air. I believe, if I've read the study right, I believe I've read that it makes other water droplets in the air heavier and so they're likely to fall down to the ground, which is a good thing. Uh, Clean, disinfect. Don't be afraid to wear a mask in public. You have permission to wear a mask in public if you have one. I don't care. I'm going to say it. Whatever. Do it. Um, Drink teas. Take Epsom salt baths. Do walking in the sunlight. Take your vitamin D, vitamin C. Uh, do your yoga. What else can you do? I think I've seen there's a few CBD stores delivering. There are plenty of ways to support yourself right now. So many ways, so many ways. And if you need help, say it. Tell people. We live in a time when you can tell people. Don't hold it in. Pride, this is not time for pride. I sure as hell won't have it. If something happens to my income and I need something, I'm gonna tell y'all. And if you need something and I see it, I will help you as much as I am able. Read to your kids, love on each other, but practice social distancing. Only love on your family, right? Get out in that nature. Take pictures. We need to come up with a clever hashtag for that. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off now. This might be the longest video I've ever done. If you've made it through or you watched the whole thing, I appreciate you. I hope I helped. Au revoir. Bonsoir. I love you.